What's going on, everybody? Sorry for kind of this very sudden start to the live stream. Today, I really thought I'd made my thumbnail ahead of time. I thought I had gotten it all set up, but then I went to go and start the live stream, and usually there's like a little icon that lets you know that you have it like a scheduled live stream, and then I realized I don't think I finished setting up the schedule for the live stream. But it's good to see you guys all here. Today is Monday, May 25th. Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Bank holiday for a lot of you in Europe, from what I understand. But happy Monday off. Those of you who are working, sorry to hear about that, but hopefully you're enjoying the live stream, or that you will enjoy the live stream while you're at work. Mark Chancoco is here from Orlando. Stevie76 says, what's going on? Good to see you. Ines Dunbar's here. And Tom Anderson says, what's up, everyone? Now, I thought you guys would have more time to like figure out what I was doing. Where is all the stuff? Okay. But for today's Monday Mukbang, I thought I would go over some hydration. So I've got 4 different things here that I thought I'd go over and, there we go, and taste for you guys while we're on the live stream for today. Let's see. Key for Vacation says, yo, just want to make sure you know the new Hoka Carbon Chews are awesome. Mistyped yesterday. Okay. Very cool. So in his Dunbar, that's what's going on for the menu, and with it I have 4 different glasses of or little jars of water. Each of these jars of water holds about exactly 14 ounces of water, so not exactly right, but you know, it's hydration mix. You don't have to be exactly super precise. Here we're not baking a cake, we're talking about hydration. Now all three of these so just to give a little bit of disclosure, this one was provided to me for free by Unived. They sent it to me for the purpose of review. These 3, I've never tried them before, and I bought all these with my own money. So just to get that out of the way. One of them, the Science and Sport, does not have sugar in it. The rest of them are like sugar drinks for during exercise. This one, the Science and Sport, which was surprising, I didn't realize this till after I bought it, has 0 or less than 1 gram of carb in it. So it's more of a like a hydration, like after or maybe a before drink for electrolytes. So Mark Chancoco says, do you take those during runs or after? So I think that there's lots of ways that you can take these. Some people will bring them as part of their water, so their hydration. I see a lot of people with like the handheld, or the ones that like it's like a wrap that goes around your arm, and there's a water bottle on the inside, and you can just drink from it as you go. So a lot of people like to put these in there. If you're a cyclist, you put it in your your water bottle cage, and you put a water bottle in there. Or you could put it in. I run with a lot of these. Whenever I'm running with like a vest, I'll put this in. I'll mix it in like a big clean canteen or like a big thermos, and then pour the mixture into my water bottles and drink those as I'm running, so that way you get your hydration, but also a lot of the stuff that you're getting in gels. So a lot of times you can use them in conjunction with gels or instead of gels. I like to use the kind of both a lot of times when I'm out there running, because just liquid for me on a really long activity tends to leave me like unsatisfied a little bit. I need to have like, after a while, I want to like eat something, even if it is a liquidy gel. Let's see who else is in here first while I get the first one kind of situated. I'm gonna start with the Science and Sport. This one is pineapple and mango flavor, and it's a tablet. This is my favorite form factor in terms of delivery of these kinds of hydration or drink mixes, because then they're easy to store. They don't spill anywhere. You just drop the tablet in the water, and then it'll eventually effervesce, and then you'll have a drink. I brought a lid as well, in case some of these need a little bit of agitation to get mixed up. But the other one that you guys might be familiar with that are in like this family of product is like Noon is probably the more popular of them. But I figured everyone's probably tried Noon, so I thought I'd go with something else in terms of the tablets. Let's see who's here. So we've got Nathan coming in from Hawaii, David Borg, big hello from Brussels, awesome, love the enthusiasm there. Michael McLaughlin from Shanghai. And Mr. Random from London. Cool. Mr. Germson's here. Cody Davis is here. He had a rainy run today in Central Florida. J. Mike Remy is back from the mountains. He had awesome views from Mount Sunapi for his virtual race. Very, very cool. MJM says, so I ran... Oh, do I sound scratchy, Stevie? Hopefully Let's see, I thought I checked my levels beforehand. Let me know if you guys are still hearing that. Oh, what I do have going on today is a fan and the air conditioner. So that, maybe that's it. Hopefully that's not it. And there's also, this is bubbling, so you might be hearing that. I don't know. I don't think that you're probably hearing that. A scratch and pop. Let's turn down some of the levels here. Maybe that's what it is. All right. You guys might have to turn up the volume on your end a little bit as you're listening, but I'm just turning down all the. Yeah. So the mic that you guys are listening to, though, Shannon, this is only going for the podcast. So this is going into the phone and only gets recorded for the audio. The mic that I'm using for the video that you guys are hearing is this guy. So that goes into a soundboard, and that goes into the soundboard goes into the iPad. So sometimes if I get the levels wrong, that's when you get some of that scratching and popping because I'm clipping, I think. It doesn't look like I'm clipping, but okay. Hopefully that solves it. All right. So my mom's here. Awesome. Good to see you, Mom. And Martin Lange is here from Germany. Very cool. Very cool. So cheers to you guys. This is the Science and Sport pineapple and mango. I like mango flavor everything. And I like pineapple too. Pineapple's my favorite fruit, so we'll see. This is tasty, but it smells funny. Just spilled a whole bunch of it too. How did I do that? I need a towel. Yeah, it's good, but it has this like nose to it. And when you first like taste it, it's like floral or like I don't know. What is it? Like almost soapy at the beginning. So I like the overall flavor, but I'm not sure that that's going to be my favorite. Unfortunately, though, sorry I'm like all over the place. This comes in a tube of 20, so I got a lot of these. So I'll probably just drink them anyway, because I figure a lot of times after a run, I'll chug one of these just to replenish some of my electrolytes, or otherwise, like throughout the day, if I've had a long run in the morning, throughout the day I'll like have a couple of noon drinks or something like this. And the main things that I have that I think that reinforce the idea that this is more for like not necessarily just recovery, but for electrolytes, is that there's thiamine, riboflavin, B6. So like riboflavin, B6, that's kind of stuff that they give you when you're like hungover too or dehydrated. So good for helping you get back from dehydration or from exertion. Calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, chloride, sodium, and potassium. So all things that you want to make. That's all basically sweat. And so sodium, 350 milligrams. I think that's a really nice number to have in a drink. I think most of the like noons are like in the 250 to 350. So just for comparison, but that one's okay. Not going to be my favorite though. Yeah, Cody Davis says, I love how Mama Kofuzi comes in and always says hi from New Jersey. Yeah, you know what she told me yesterday? I was FaceTiming her, and she wasn't, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she wasn't here yesterday. And she takes a nap in the afternoon. She's been running like 4 or 5 times a week, I think. 5 times a week, 6 miles a day. But she's been upping it. She's trying to get to 6 miles a day, 6 days a week. Although this week, I think her overall mileage is going to be the same. So not 6 miles each. It's not 36 miles for the week. And but it's going to be her same total of about 30. And she's been taking naps, and she forgot to set an alarm, so she missed the live stream yesterday. Recycle on Wednesday said, did it dissolve well? It dissolved extremely well. I'm very surprised. I'd say it dissolved better than a noon tablet would dissolve, and that's kind of like my gold standard, because I've had the goo ones. Have you had the goo ones? The goo ones do not dissolve well at all. Great flavor, but they do not. There's like a film on top. It's almost like you're eating like a you know when you ever see, I don't know if you've ever seen like someone making broth or stock, and you have to skim the fat that accumulates on the top. There's something on the top of it that has that like look and feel, and so it's like really unappetizing when I had the goo ones. Anyway, but that's that one. The kid is all right says, do you think Martin is worth the price? I think the gels are worth the price. I think the hydration mix, because I don't, oh, sorry, I hit that mic, but because I don't like really worry too much, I drink Gatorade or whatever's on course in terms of hydration. If I were to carry my own hydration though, or if I were like the kind of person that could have my own bottles that I picked out, then I might really worry a little bit more about like which hydration mix I have. I feel like as long as you like the flavor and it's generally got good, decent amount of stuff in it, you know, sugars, salts, potassium. I'm not too picky when it comes to my hydration mixes, but gels I'm a little bit more particular about. But I know there's lots of people that like have completely opposite opinions on it. Mr. Germ says I usually make my own electrolyte drinks for the long runs. Mr. Germson, are you the one that also makes your own gels too? Someone was saying that they make their own gels. Yeah. Yeah, Matthew Montillo says Kofuzi's mom is going pro. You know, she was supposed to run was it a 10K mom or a 10 mile? I don't remember. And she was getting ready. She's got a coach. She was getting ready to run, and then her race got canceled. So, Lackerall says I have those high five tabs with pink grapefruit. That sounds like a good flavor. I like that. Ricky Nip says, since the Kinvarov looks like more of a minimal shoe, how would you rank the overall cushioning? I think the cushioning is more ample than it looks because the Power Run material is really nice. I like it. So I wouldn't really consider it a minimal shoe. It's supposed to be, it has traditionally been one of their faster shoes. So it kind of lines up with like the Peg Turbo. But this year I think they made it more of a daily trainer. And so that's kind of where I think of it right now. In terms of overall cushioning, I feel like it's pretty squarely in the daily trainer category. Mike Remy says naps run in the family. Yeah, they do. I actually didn't take a nap today. Been trying to nap with my daughter whenever possible these days. Yeah, oh man. Like the baby's at that age where at daycare she would nap every day. But whenever on the weekends she wouldn't nap because she just wants to play and hang out with everybody. And you know, some of these days I can kind of convince her, hey, let's snuggle on the couch for a minute. And she's like, okay, that sounds great. Let me get my stuff. And then she's got to bring all her things. And she'll get ready to like lay down on the couch. And she lasts for like 30 seconds. And she goes, now let's play, Dad. I'm like, no, I wasn't playing about napping. I really wanted to take a nap. And but she just can't be stopped. Yeah. So let's see. Brandon Pham says, what's the best gel in your opinion? I have a couple that I like, and I usually like to mix and match and have a variety for my marathons, just because I like to have different textures and consistencies. So my usual mix involves a Unived gel, and you know they frequently give me a lot of products, so just to kind of put that out there, because that it's really thinner. It's a lot thinner, so it gives you a little bit of liquid volume, but the flavor is nice, and I feel like it hits you pretty quick. I also tend to like the Goo Roctane. There's a coconut flavored one. It tastes like a candy bar. That I usually like on well, when it's cold or warm. When it's cold, they tend to get it's very thick to begin with. And when it's cold, it gets very thick, and it's like you're eating a candy bar, which I find pleasant. Some people might really hate that. And the other ones that I eat are the Huma Chia Plus. Those are some of my favorites too. That has really high salt content and it also has caffeine. And my favorite unit, all my favorite ones have caffeine in it. The Martin Calf, even though it has like the same amount of caffeine as some other gels that I've had, it's just like the caffeine hits you really fast, and it's made me jittery before when I've had it. So that's how I feel about like my gels. So I like to have like a mix. Yeah, Spring Energy is good, Matthew Mentiu says, but I never know if they actually help. Spring Energy is probably the closest thing I think to having actual food on a run. But like when I'm on a race though, like I kind of don't if I wanted regular food, I would just eat food, kind of thing. I feel like I want something that's a little bit more formulated. All right, let's go to the next one. We've been talking about Unived, so let's do that one. This one is going to be a little bit different. Just because I'm going to need to only do like half of it, because the way that they do this is the suggestion is for 20 ounces to 20 to 27 ounces of fluid. This is only about 14, so I'm about like half. But I've spoken with him at Unived about it, and he says if you want to use these as like a carb loading drink, kind of like the Martin 320, the stuff that you're supposed to have like the night before or something like that, you can make it very concentrated and drink this that way. So I think maybe I'll just put the whole thing in there. But this is the wild watermelon flavor. This is one of my favorite flavors of all the things that they make. Super tasty. Very nice. So we'll get it in here. And this comes out, I'll do it on camera so you can see it. comes out as a very fine powder. Oh man, I think I accidentally also put it in the water jug that had the most water in it. All right, so that's in there. We'll get the lid and we'll give it a shake. And so in terms of what this has, a lot of the Unived products have the betaine, beta-alanine, sodium bicarb. This one also has 35 milligrams of caffeine, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I always feel like, you know, like just the pure milligrams isn't enough. Like I was saying with the Martin gels, I feel like there's like a delivery speed that makes a difference as well. So here it is. It's a little bit cloudy now. You could see where the powder is. It takes a minute to really get it to dissolve, but because the powder is so fine, it usually dissolves relatively quickly. So we'll get that going. I think I have a chunk in there. All right, let's see what you guys got to say. Stevie76, ESPN went from Jordan's The Last Dance to Lance Armstrong 30 for 30. Surprised at the extensive doping in cycling and whether long distance running has similar issues. Yeah, you know what? What's funny is how much like my running Twitter, not that I have any other Twitter, I have a work Twitter, but like my Twitter, running on Twitter, not my running Twitter, running Twitter, went from like everyone being like so enthralled with like The Last Dance and the Michael Jordan 30 for 30. Now everyone's just like appalled and pissed off at ESPN and Lance Armstrong. It's really kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. I'm very eager to see it. I probably will actually watch this. I didn't watch any of The Last Dance, but I probably will watch this one just because I find it fascinating. And, you know, my understanding was that, like, I mean, I already had that understanding a little bit. I think it was Matt Hutchinson's book that talked about, you know, a lot of the science of like endurance and muscle performance, you know, kind of went hand in hand with a lot of the drug use that was rampant in very, very like decades, hundreds of years ago, maybe not hundreds, but 100 years ago in cycling. And so like I think there's always been some sort of culture of everything from doping and EPO and all that kind of stuff, like in more recent times, to like just straight up methamphetamines like 100 years ago. So like it was a pretty interesting book. It's really weird to like see that. I don't know if long distance running has similar issues to that. I hope not. Yeah, it's good. The flavor on the wild watermelon, what is it called? Yeah, wild watermelon. It's so slight. It's very subtle. It's almost I'm just like drinking like something that's like water but a little bit thicker in terms of like there's a little bit of like a viscosity to it. Not in a bad way, but just a little bit. I'm having some hard time dissolving it because it's like it's meant to be dissolved in twice as much liquid. But it's meant to be like sipped on all day long. So you put it in like a 2-liter pack, get a whole bunch of it, and just sip on it all day. It's kind of how it was designed. It was Hayden Hawks is the one that's it's his flavor, and so definitely designed with trail running in mind. Michael Keating says, "Sup, Co? A bit off subject. This is tasty. I'm just gonna keep drinking this up, but I'm trying to keep in mind that I've got like 60 more grams of carbs coming. Well, let me go over some of the numbers. So for this, for the entire packet, it's got 45 grams of carbs in it. So not something that you should. I mean, I probably shouldn't drink that whole thing at once and then drink more stuff. But it's got magnesium, chloride, sodium, 289 milligrams, which I feel like is a good number to drink like over the course of an hour. Maybe half hour for that amount of salt. I kind of would like more salt for an hour's worth of activity. Yeah, 98 milligrams of potassium. And then it's got betaine, 400 milligrams of beta-alanine, and the sodium bicarb, and 35 milligrams of caffeine. So it's got a nice mixture of things. Now, the nice thing about these things is they don't like go bad. So I'll drink these, I think, over the course of the next couple of days of running. So that'll be nice to kind of have. This I'll probably dilute a little bit more. Let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna get a napkin because I'm like spilling slightly everywhere, and I just feel like everything's gonna be like syrupy and sticky if I don't clean it up as I go. Yeah, Louis, sorry, I'm gonna have a sugar rush. Let's see. Jazzy says sorry, but it's still scratchy. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll cut off this mic again because that seemed to solve it last time. Is just to like stop trying to get fancy with the mic on the iPad Pro. So hopefully that solves it. All right, so I don't know what's doing that. I'm not a great audio person. All right, so yeah, Cody Davis says, if anyone thinks Greg LeMond Road clean is out of their minds. Yeah, I can't say that I've ever watched more than 5 minutes of cycling at a time, or like maybe less than 30 minutes total. So I'm not that familiar with that world. Let's see. Someone was saying, asking a question about Turbo 2, I think. Yeah, Michael Keating. A bit off a subject, but I heard a scary rumor that two of my favorite lines, Peg Turbo and Zoomfly, are being discontinued. Have you heard this? Thoughts? I've heard it too. It would be very surprising to me if that's true that the Turbo's going away, just because of how popular it was. And I thought that it was going to be replaced by shoes from the Alpha line. But like, I mean, I don't really know much of the Nike rumors. I don't get any of that information. Yeah, Guillermo Munoz. I just took the regular mic out because people were saying it was scratchy before. And Mark, oh okay, Mark Chenko says the sound was better before. All right, I'll put it back in. See if we can get that sorted. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know what's going on with my audio setup. I thought I used to have it like this. Like what I've done previously is I've just taken a photograph of like the dials, and I try to reproduce that every time. All right, but yeah, I mean, Colin Baker says, does the Peg Turbo equal the Nuvo Mero? No, I think the Nuvo Mero is supposed to be on the other end of the spectrum, where it's like for more long distance max cushion running. So I mean, the Vomero has always been there. They're on the Vomero 15 this year. So yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Cody Davis says, when you post to Instagram, do you edit on your phone or computer? On the stuff that's on Instagram, I just edit from the phone. So like the photos or the videos, it's either coming like as a screen grab or a freeze frame from the GoPro app or the Insta360 app. And so that's how I get it. All right. Super Small says it's better now, so hopefully that works. Okay. Guillermo Munoz says, I was about to return the 75T I bought after you recommended them. Oh, sorry about that. David Phil says, now the audio is offset from video timing. All right. Sorry. We're just going to have to roll with it, and we'll limp over the finish line for this one. Frank Chung says, hi, kofuzi. Just wondering, what fall marathons have you signed up for, though? Hard to see Boston, Chicago, New York City, or others from happening. I hear you. I'm with you. I'm signed up for Boston and Chicago, and that's it. I don't anticipate running either of those, just because I think that even if there are races, that I don't think those races will go. I think that I will probably end up signing up for some other races of some sort that might be able to go, maybe a trail race or something. But I don't think like those big world marathons are gonna happen. Shannon side says audio is fine. We're a finicky type A crowd. I mean, hopefully we can just limp our way through it. I apologize. Matt Q says, is the neck mic only for the podcast? Yes, because I can't figure out a way, at least not with the very like entry-level soundboard that I have, to have one mic give me two outputs, like one output to that and like one that just records. I don't want to just pull the audio from the YouTube live stream, because then like I think YouTube compresses the live stream a lot, and I want to be able to have a non-compressed, like digitally sounding audio. But you know, sometimes it becomes more trouble than it's worth. David Sinclair says, what watch are you using? This is the Polar Grit X. I've been liking it. All right, let's go to another drink. We'll go to the Tailwind next, which was a bit of a surprise. Now, I've run with a couple of people that swear by Tailwind. It's their favorite. They love using it. So I just went on Amazon and bought like a sample pack. The flavor that I somewhat randomly picked out was Raspberry Buzz, and it's got 70 milligrams of caffeine in it per packet. And I like the way that they do the instructions for this one. It makes a lot of sense, especially for this type of product. It says, mix in one large bottle. Sip over an hour. Have fun. There we go. Yeah. Mackie says the reason he's asking about the mic is that the scratch seems to appear when moving my left arm and shoulder. So that's a weird coincidence. Oh, maybe. I mean, maybe they're picking up each other and there's interference. I'm not sure. We've thought about that before, that might be happening, but it could be. So I'll try not to move this left arm then too much. All right, well, let's get this open up, and I think I'll just drop the whole thing in there. Although it says like here, if you only want 100 calories, this is 200 calories. If you only want 100, you could pinch it in the middle and then pour it all in. But we'll try and get it open. This seems to be hard to open. Do I need scissors for this? I don't know how. There we go. All right, not bad. All right, so I was able to get a little corner open. Oh, sorry. Do it this way. So I wasn't expecting this. From what it felt like it was a very, I felt like it was almost like a concentrate, like a gel in here, but it's a powder. All right, and this is Raspberry Buzz. I'll try to keep my left arm still, not move that other microphone around too much. It's dissolving nicely. Jazzy says, yes, caffeine, it's good for you. The kid is alright, says Tailwind Naked is my favorite. Ooh, that's interesting. I like that idea. So while I'm shaking this up, we'll go over some of the numbers. 606 milligrams of salt. That, I think, makes a little bit more sense for something I'm going to have over the course of an hour. It's a connection issue. Ross Paul says it's a connection issue. All right, I don't know. So 600 milligrams of salt sounds about right. 176 milligrams of potassium and 50 grams of carbs. That's a lot. All right. And then some of the people that I've run with before, they say they will dilute it even further. Just put it in a very large water bottle to stretch it out a little bit. So they're not getting as much sugar at once, but also to extend kind of the product a little bit. So cheers. Yeah, I don't like this. It smells funny. It smells like soda. And I don't know. Just doesn't. It tastes like melted candy. Maybe I would like it better if it was cold, but I'm not a huge fan of that flavor. Maybe it's just the flavor that I got. I'm just taste testing these for today, so like I'm not saying like whether one is good for endurance activities or not, but just giving it a sense of the taste. But yeah, that taste was not. I didn't like that. Raspberry Buzz. Normally I kind of like berry flavored raspberry drinks, but JC8049 says fan of the Tailwind, but only takes it on the bike. I think I could probably do it on a bike. And I will recognize that like what like my taste buds might be wanting if I'm out there like huffing and puffing and like sweating like crazy is gonna be very different than when I'm sitting in here with like fans and an air conditioner on. Steve Harnberg says tasting like melted candy is better than tasting like soap, I suppose. When I say stuff like tastes like soap, I think it's more like that it like it has kind of like that like floral flavor to it. What is that floral flavor that's in it's in food and also in potpourri? There's something, I forget what it is exactly, but it's an edible flower that is in a lot of Asian gums as well, like the kind you get after dinner. And I just hate that flavor. And so I'm feeling it. Greg says, I'm cracking up just hearing the audio of this tasting live stream as he works, especially when you comment about the smell. Yeah. It doesn't smell right. Like, if you were like, hey, smell this, do you want to drink it? I'd be like, this is not something meant for human consumption. Not that it's a bad smell, it smells kind of chemically, I think, maybe. Hibiscus, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it. I don't know that there would be a hibiscus and a raspberry buzz flavor, but it kind of reminds me about that. Super Smalt's coming in with hibiscus. I think, yeah, it could be maybe lavendery. I don't know. I know what lavender smells like though, and it doesn't smell or taste like lavender. I don't know. Stevie76 says, I've noticed fitness YouTubers have their own powdered drinks. I haven't seen too much of that. Yeah, Jeff Flanagan, sipping for over an hour isn't very practical for a road race. Yeah. I mean, I think that this is probably more, when it says like sip for over the course of an hour, I think they're talking more about people on bikes or maybe on trail races where they've got the tube where you can like just sip on it a little bit for your hydration bladder. But yeah. Oh, jasmine could be it too, but I don't think it's jasmine. It could be more of a hibiscus. Like, it reminds me of that. Steve Arnberg says, good point about context. Enjoy Gatorade after a workout, but never any other time. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about the other day? Speaking of like Gatorade, is that like, remember when like everyone ate Power Bars and that's the only product that like existed? There was either Snickers or like Milky Way or whatchamacallits, like candy bars, and then there was Power Bars, and that was it. And then the product category exploded, and Power Bar didn't do anything, right? I mean, I think they made it like an extra proteiny version that had more chocolate in it, but whatever happened to Power Bar? Does anyone still eat Power Bars? I think I saw it the other day at the store, and that's what made me think about it. Lucas asks, currently in the market for a Tempo Track Fast Day shoe. Looked at the SL20, but not sure. Do you have a favorite Fast Day shoe right now? I think if you're doing it for tempos, SL20 is a great choice. Fast Day shoe, SL20 is a great choice. Track, I was looking at, I think it was Braz Grabnar. I'm messing up the name. But he just posted something on his Instagram story and tagged me in it where he brought both the SL20 and the Adios 5 to the track. And I feel like on the track, I would reach for the Adios 5 first. So that's another one that I might look at if you're interested in the SL20. Martha says, hibiscus is the flavor of Red Zinger tea, if you know that one. I'm not familiar with that flavor. Dan Run says, Tailwind and Spring Energy combo for him. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Cody Davis says, what do you like to have after a race? I know it's weird, but I always want a Diet Coke after a race. I always want a beer. I usually want a light beer followed by a heavier beer. That's what I really want after a race. But after a run, I usually I crave coffee, sometimes coffee and a banana, which is weird because I hate bananas. But after like a very long run, my body wants it. I think it knows there's potassium in there or some sort of electrolyte in there that it wants. And then other than that, my two favorite things are I have a protein shake that I like, the OWYN, Only What You Need protein powder, or the Unived recovery drink. It's got turmeric in it, and I feel like the turmeric makes it taste funny, but my body also craves it. Like there's that flavor. It's like a trigger in my head, and so like I really like that one too. The vanilla one is tasty, very tasty. The Kid's Alright says, if you know what Pocari Sweat is, Japanese energy drink, the Tailwind Naked tastes exactly the same. I don't think I've had Pocari Sweat either. I mean, you guys are coming in with all of like the edible flowers. Marigold, elderflower, jasmine, man, honeysuckle. You guys are very knowledgeable about your flowers. Wow. Yeah. Lewis says, good thing that your daughter is taking you for a run after this. Too much carbs. Yeah, it's just like she likes to go for the bike ride after the live streams. Yesterday, I had run a half marathon in the morning, and she wanted to do a lot of racing. So she basically secret races. She'll say, like, if she sees like an open stretch of sidewalk where there's no other pedestrians, she'll go, all right, Dad, 3, 2, 1, go. And then she'll just start taking off, and I'm supposed to race her. And so it's pretty funny. She likes it. And we did that like 5 times yesterday. So I did like basically 5 sets of strides at the end of the day. And I was so tired. I was really tired. I was like, oh, you're tiring me out. We got to take a break. I'm like, let's walk a little bit. She's like, Daddy, let's go. It's bicycle time. And I was like, okay, all right. She's tough. Guillermo says he loves his SL20. PR'd his 10K today and 5K a month ago on it. Awesome. Find them a lot more comfortable than the Boston 8, which he also has. That's interesting. Because I would think that it would like from comfort it would go like Adios SL20 Boston 8. But the SL20 does have a little bit of a wider heel in the back, so I could see that making it feel a little bit more comfortable. All right. Lackarell says beer is liquid bread and it's good for recovery. That's what I've heard too. I forget. There's a book out there about recovery. I think it might be called Recovery. That goes into whether there's like an entire chapter, a very long segment of the book about whether beer is good for you. Jeff Flanagan says, "Be honest, who won?" I'd say I let her win most of them, but for real, yesterday, I think she probably took more than I gave her. Right, so I think it was like maybe we did like 5 strides. She probably won 3, and I won 2. Drake Culture says, was here for the beginning but missed the majority of the conversation. Looking forward to the podcast. Oh, awesome. Well, I mean, that's what it's there for, in case you want to come back later. Awesome. Good to have you here. Shannon says, I was just talking about this the other day. Do you actually feel the physical effects of turmeric? I'm not sure that I can say that I feel like the immunological benefits or like the recovery benefits of turmeric, but it from a signaling perspective, I feel like there's something there. You know, it's kind of like the act of taking a vitamin could be as valuable as taking a vitamin to some placebo-like effect. And so like the fact that the foods that I eat don't generally tend to have turmeric in them, when I'm drinking something that has it in there, it makes me think, okay, I'm drinking something that's nourishing, that's also tasty, and it has that weird thing in there that signals to my mind that it's like recovery time. So I'm not sure, but I feel better after I have it, and I enjoy having it. So I feel like that's enough for me. Yeah. Drake Culture says, I might have missed the beer conversation, but how much do you think alcohol hurts your running? That's a good question. You didn't miss it. We didn't talk about that yet. But I've been having about 2 or 3 beers a night for the last maybe 4 nights in a row. And it's starting to add up, I would say. Like I'm starting to, I've also been running a lot more, which has made me tired at the end of the day. And so made me feel like having a beer, so it's kind of like not a cycle, but some of the things feed into the other things. And, but yes, I'm working harder, so I feel sluggish, but I do feel like, I feel like it makes me a little groggy in the legs. So so I would say when I'm in heavy training, I would probably end up having 1 to 0 drinks a week. When I'm now, off season, I might have, on average, maybe a beer, a drink a day, maybe less than that, 1 every 2 days on average. But usually when I have one, it's 2 on that day, then it's not every day. So, yeah, Jeff Flanagan says, alcohol is inflammatory, so just sprinkle some turmeric on the IPA. I bet you there's a turmeric IPA somewhere. I guarantee you there is. We'll have to find it. Does Sufferfest make it? I feel like they make a lot of stuff, that runners might find interesting. All right, I'm going to try to open up this Skratch Labs one. This is Strawberries Sport. All right. I don't know how to open it. This one's hard to open. All right. So let's get this in here. Did not open up a large enough opening on it. It's very red. Oh boy, pink. Or very pink, maybe. All right, let's get the lid on here, give it a quick shake, and see how it does. Look at that color. Uh-oh. Arnold Alanis says, I don't like the strawberry. Bad aftertaste. I usually, red drinks for me, it's I'll be fine. So this one has, in terms of carbs, I think I ripped the carbs thing on there. 20 grams of carbs on it. Oh yeah, I looked at this one earlier. This basically has the nutritional profile of a gel. So 20 grams of carbs, 380 milligrams of sodium, which is high for most gels. And it's got, let's see, some magnesium. That's pretty much it. So not a lot of other stuff in there. Pretty much you're just getting the sugar in here. All right, so let's see how it tastes. There's stuff floating in this. I'm going to pretend that's little bits of strawberry. I like this a lot. This is good. This tastes like I'm drinking strawberries. Who's saying that they don't like it? Arnold. This is, I mean, I guess there's, there's flavors for everyone, right? But this one, I really like this flavor. I feel like I'm drinking strawberry juice. Yeah, I think I might actually just finish this one. Although I've had a lot of sugar right now. Yeah, bro, flavors for everyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I was like tasting for the aftertaste. I didn't quite feel it. So this one's good. I'd say this is a little bit of a stronger flavor. The wild watermelon was also good, but that has a nice like sip all day flavor. So what is the coloring? I don't know. Let's see if there's any colors in here. It doesn't mention. The ingredients are cane sugar, dextrose, sodium citrate, strawberries, citric acid, magnesium lactate, calcium citrate, potassium citrate, and ascorbic acid for vitamin C. So I think the coloring is from strawberries. It is non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, kosher, and vegan. Yeah. Yeah. It says drink 1 to 2 servings every hour for exercise. This one was a surprise. I wasn't expecting to like this one that much. It's tasty. Hearing just the audio, Greg is listening to this in the background while he's working. He says, just hearing the audio of, there's stuff floating in this. There is stuff floating in it though. I think it actually is bits of strawberry. Yeah, Kevin Scott says, time for another half marathon with all the sugar. The last time I had this much sugar was when I ate all those Blake seed-based bars. And I ended up I had 4 bars in the course of an hour, of like 45 minutes. Yeah, that was a lot of sugar. I had a stomach ache for a while. So like, I guess each of those, I don't know, what was that? Like that would have been like 60 or 70 grams of sugar for the hour, for 45 minutes. That's my limit. I don't think I'm there yet. I might be getting close, though. Maybe like 30 grams by now. Show the brand again. Steve Ehrenberg says Skratch. So I think they're known mainly for triathlons athletes and bicyclists. What do bicyclists like to be like triathletes and bicyclists? What do they like to be called? Bikers? Bikers seems wrong. Bicyclists? Bicyclist sounds like I'm being pejorative somehow. Like I'm like saying like, oh, your little bike, I don't know. Hopefully I'm not offending anybody. But whatever do they like to be called? I think that's the demographic or like their area of like bigger market share. I don't think that they're really known as much for runners. But I thought I would give it a try when we're talking about some of these drinks to have. Because it's summertime. Sometimes, like, if you think about the funny thing is, like, I feel like I've had this much sugar in a soda before, back when I used to drink sodas. I gave that up maybe, I think 7 or 8 years ago. But back when I used to have sodas, I would probably just drink that much and not even have a second thought about it. But now, like, cyclist. Everyone, they like to be called, not bicyclists, cyclists. Okay, I apologize. Hopefully, I did not mean to, I thought bicyclist sounded weird. So, cyclist. Oh, wow, there's a lot of people coming in with cyclist. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Recycle on Monday says, nice. A lot of stuff uses beets for red color, which he's allergic to. Oh, okay. Yeah. It doesn't say that there's any beets in here. So it doesn't say that there's any colorings in here either. So this color seems to be natural. So that's pretty cool. Correction says, do you do protein drinks or powder after your runs? I find that having protein shake after my workout and run helps me recover significantly the next day. It's like night and day, actually. I like to have some protein in me if I can't eat. I like to eat something if I can. If I can't eat something, then I'll do like a protein shake. A lot of times I end up just having a cup of coffee, which is not the greatest for me. But that's kind of where, that's my truth, is that's what really happens. So I like to have the protein drink, because then usually with the protein drink, you get a little bit of sugar, you get a little bit of salt, you get some of that potassium and magnesium back, so you're getting some electrolytes refilled. And then, the protein I feel just like tops you up, and it makes me feel like that helps with, building muscle. I'm not sure, I know it's not exactly that simple, but that's how I understand it. That's how I kind of wrap my head around it. Yeah, Martha says everyone's riding cyclists. I think so. Yeah, it'll be interesting if when you run, if you will be sick after all the sugar and water. Yeah, I think I might have a lot of sloshing around, but I think I'll be okay. I'll let you guys know for sure. Joseph Horn says, "Are you supposed to drink these during the run, or are these like a running version of pre-workout?" I think they could be used either way. For some of them, like you could put it in like a handheld and bring with you. Put them in a water bottle in your pack or in your hydration vest, or you can have them as like like load yourself up with a bunch of carbs either the night before for your carb loading, which is what I'm thinking I might do for my next marathon. Is I might do like the liquid carb loading, because I'm almost also really worried about like with food carb loading, as pleasurable as that is, I'm so worried about the poop. You guys know I've been talking about poop for like I've been doing this for now for like 60 days. And every day I think I talk about poop. So like, I'm worried about the poop. And so I think that like, I'm going to try like liquid carb loading. I've done that once before. I did that for the Heartbreakers run last year for the 20 miler. I still ended up kind of running out of sugars the next day, but it was a really hot day. So I just think I need to like, I need to try overcorrecting, and so that way I can then figure out, okay, that's the overcorrection. I've done too little. I've done too much. Now here's my middle. I'd rather not try to titrate my way up. I'd rather feel like here's the poles. Now pick something toward the middle. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. JC8489 says coffee is the best pre-workout, if you know what I mean. Yes, I do know what you mean. Let's see. Tony Glenwright said he had a ginger extract drink supplied at Kiter Marathon in UK. Very refreshing and supposed to alleviate stomach issues. Yeah, that sounds expensive for the race to supply. But that I could see that definitely working. Jeff Lanigan likes maple syrup because it's easy on the stomach. I bet you that would be those simple sugars. T-shirt, Stevie76 T-shirt idea. I worry about the poop, or just the poop emoji. Yeah. Let's see. Matthew Montijo says coffee hates me, but I love it. Lewis says, let's hope the neighbors don't call 911 if they see kofuzi running all over the building from all the sugars he needs to get out of the system. Yeah. But I've been intentionally dehydrating myself. Not intentionally dehydrating myself. I got thirsty like 2 hours ago, and I was like, nope, I'm going to hold off because I got a lot of drinks coming up. So I'm going to wait. So now I'm feeling good. Strangely, though, my mouth is very dry right now. I think because with the sugars, like I think it's leaving like a film in my mouth. I'm going to try some of the Unived because that's like it feels like the most or the least concentrated. Yeah, going real quick back and forth between these drinks is not highly recommended. But yeah, that kind of like rinse things out a little bit. So this Skratch Labs one's tasty, but it is more like a juice to me because it made my mouth sticky, kind of. And I went back for it now just to test it out. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ten Root says Kielder, pronounced Kielder. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't see that if that was an I or an L, and I apologize. Frank Lahulia said, you see straight up ginger ale at ultras. That's what I love about ultra runners is that they're so funny. Like they'll bring like like Coca-Cola, and if they drink ginger ale used to be one of my favorite beverages. I would always get it on the airplane. It would like be like my airplane treat. And when I stopped drinking sodas, like the first time I got on an airplane, I was like, oh, I miss ginger ale. The one time, like the when I will have a soda is with a Moscow Mule. That is delicious. But that's pretty much it. J. Mark Ramsey is more likely that I'm going to wet the bed tonight than poop. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, I think that now I got to burn off some of this sugar because I'm starting to get a little bit antsy. And I don't want to keep you guys too long for today. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining in for the taste sampling of these different drinks. I think I had some surprises in here today. But it was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are being safe today on your Memorial Day and remembering, at least in the U.S., those military veterans who are no longer with us. And those of you in the bank holiday in the UK and elsewhere, I hope you enjoy your day. Hope you guys are staying safe on your runs. I'll see you either tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning on Instagram, or back here for Trivia Tuesday here on YouTube, 3 p.m. Chicago time. All right, in the meantime, be safe, and I'll see you guys soon.